Right now, the Taste of Madison is back. We show you some of the vendors and all that you need to know heading into the weekend. Also, news in the retrial of Devontae Gafford, one of the men accused in the killing of 20-year-old Devon Grant at the Harmony Apartments in 2023. Plus, we're following a suspicious death investigation in Dane County. The Sheriff's Office now investigating the incident as a homicide. That's all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. A portion of Century Avenue in Middleton will be closed until Wednesday due to a water main break. Middleton Public Works said the affected areas are between Tomahawk Trail and Baskerville Avenue. Crews are currently on site and are working to shift traffic in the area, and the area will remain closed to allow for repairs and asphalt work. Residents are asked to plan for extra travel time and to use alternative routes. MPW said a detour map will be shared soon. News in the retrial of Devontae Gafford, one of the men accused of killing 20-year-old Devon Grant at the Harmony Apartments in 2023. A jury found Gafford guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as a party to a crime and first-degree recklessly endangering safety as a party to a crime. The verdict concludes his retrial. And in 2024, jurors deadlocked on the counts of homicide and recklessly endangering safety, and a mistrial was declared. Sentencing in the case has yet been set. We have an update on the suspicious death investigation in Dane County. The Sheriff's Office is now investigating the incident as a homicide. Dane County deputies were called to Dunlap Hollow Road just northwest of Mazomanie after a 70-year-old man failed to show up for dinner with loved ones. There, they found him dead. His vehicle, a Hyundai, was not at the home. Police in the city of Marinette north of Green Bay near Postigo spotted the Hyundai leading to a high-speed chase. The vehicle eventually crashed and the driver got out. Police used a taser, but it didn't work. That led to two officers firing their weapons, killing the driver. Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett released a video addressing the homicide investigation.
Such a grossly unjust and outrageous homicide that it truly just shocks the conscience and does not represent the values of the town of Mazomanie community nor our Dane County community.
The DOJ's Division of Criminal Investigation is leading the investigation into the officer-involved shooting. Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with the meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what should we expect as we enter the latter days of Labor Day weekend?
You know, we're going to continue to sit underneath these pleasant conditions. 50s and 60s out there across central and southern Wisconsin. Still holding on to more of those mid-60s around, say, Platteville as well as Prairie du Chien. Everybody else has begun to slip into either the upper 50s or the low 60s. 60 in Middleton, 61 2 hour east in Madison, and 60 in Deerfield. We're at 58 in Edgerton. Now tonight we will slip into more of those low 50s. A few of us maybe dipping into the upper 40s as well. We're going to sit underneath clear conditions, a little bit of fog further to the north. That's where we're likely going to see some of that fog develop along the waterways, the valleys, like along the Wisconsin River and some of those valleys across western parts of Wisconsin. But the nice conditions stick around for not only Sunday, but further into your Labor Day and Tuesday of next week. We could be flirting with the 80s, all before our temperatures come crashing down. We'll take a look at just how cool we'll get for the middle of next week and what else comes with that next system we're eyeing in the full forecast.
All right, sounds good, Blaze. We'll see you in just a bit. One of Madison's favorite food festivals returns this weekend, the Taste of Madison. The two-day event boasts more than 80 food vendors to participate, with proceeds supporting several Madison area charities. There's also a variety of beverage options and live entertainment throughout the day. We headed out to the Capitol Square today to find out everyone's battle plan for tackling all the food booths.
Don't be afraid to step on the lawn here at the Capitol building. It kind of gives you a break from all the rushing around and people trying to make their way to the food booths. Take a second, recenter yourself, then get back out there and find some good food.
Taste of Madison returns for its final day tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And due to the Taste of Madison, if you're heading downtown, note that all streets leading into the Capitol building will be closed. On your screen is a map from the city of Madison showing the weekend street closures. Residents can still navigate around the closures using South Webster, East Doty, East Dayton, or North Fairchild streets. Metro Transit says bus routes A, B, E, F, R, and 75 will be affected by the closures. This will continue throughout the weekend. Happening all weekend long is the Iowa County Fair, so grab your kiddos and gear up for a weekend of fun. The fair goes until Monday. This 100-plus-year-old tradition features all the classics, including carnival games, rides, livestock, and fried food galore. Adults pay $10 for one-day admission. Kids 8 through 12 pay for just $5 for a day pass, and kids 7 and under get in for free. For more information, visit iowacountyfair.com. And the festivals don't stop there. All weekend long is the Orton Park Festival. It enters day 2 at Orton Park in Madison. The weekend-long festival turns 60 years old this year. It includes performances from Ford Marching Band, Heavy Looks, and Neptune's Core. The event is free to attend and continues through Sunday. You can enjoy Sunday morning brunch at Orton Fest tomorrow at 9. And in Prairie du Sac, today the Wisconsin State Cow Chip Throw took over Marion Park for a celebration of the dairy industry. The festival features tons of fun and entertainment, including a farmer's market and an arts and craft fair. But most important is the signature event, the cow chip toss. Participants are given 2 cow chips to see which one will be thrown the furthest. But what exactly is a cow chip?
So it's actually a piece of cow manure. They're cattle that are actually fed a high fiber diet, so it gives us a little bit thicker chip. And it makes it more aerodynamic to throw. We pick them up about a month before our event, dry them on wagons, flipping them over to get that perfect chip.
The tradition is a lighthearted callback to the importance of cow chips as fuel sources when pioneers first settled. The Wisconsin State Cow Chip Throw returns next year. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 10. Blaze returns with a complete look of your First One forecast, plus more drone strikes from Russia on Ukraine, the latest on the conflict. Plus, the Chicago mayor signing an executive order to resist an immigration crackdown in the city. What that order entails. Thank you for staying with us. Russia fired nearly 600 drones and missiles at Ukraine overnight, killing one and injuring more than 20. It's the second major attack in just 3 days. After a brief lull while President Trump sought peace talks, CBS's Holly Williams is in London with the latest.
Russian strikes shook Zaporizhia overnight, hitting a 5-story apartment building, killing at least 1 person and injuring dozens, including 3 children. Just 2 days ago, Russia targeted Kyiv, Ukraine's capital, lighting up the sky with deadly missile and drone strikes. 23 were killed, among them 4 children. We heard explosions and rockets, said this woman. God forbid that America never hears our children suffering and dying. And today, in the city of Lviv, a prominent member of Ukraine's parliament was shot dead on the street in broad daylight. Andriy Parubi was one of the leaders of protests in 2014 that toppled Ukraine's then pro-Russian government. There's now a manhunt underway for his killer. Ukraine's still fighting back, targeting 2 Russian oil refineries with drones overnight. But the Russians have more manpower and they're gaining ground. They say they took the village of Komishuvaka today and control around 20% of Ukraine's territory.
Just over 2 weeks ago, President Trump rolled out the red carpet for Vladimir Putin in Alaska, hoping to persuade the Russian leader to end the war that he started by invading Ukraine. For now, there's no sign of that happening.
The FDA has approved this year's updated COVID-19 vaccines, but only for a certain group of people. That includes adults ages 65 and older, as well as any people who have certain medical conditions that would put them at higher risk for a severe COVID-19 infection. According to the CDC, that includes asthma, heart disease, diabetes, and pregnancy. However, doctors can still provide the vaccines off-label for those who do not meet the new eligibility criteria. The vaccines are expected to be available at many pharmacies and doctors' offices in the fall. The CDC's vaccine advisory panel is scheduled to meet next month, where they will weigh in on who should receive the vaccine. The recommendation will determine whether insurance companies cover the cost of the shot. President Donald Trump is issuing a warning to Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. He says on social media that Pritzker better straighten out the crime in Chicago or the federal government will intervene. In the meantime, Chicago's mayor signed an executive order Saturday that is aimed at resisting the president's planned immigration crackdown in the city.
Mayor Brandon Johnson took an extraordinary step today, signing an executive order blocking Chicago police from cooperating with federal agents. CBS News has learned the Trump administration plans to intensify immigration enforcement in the city as early as next week. But Chicago's mayor is not having it.
We will not have our police officers, who are working hard every single day to drive down crime, deputized to do traffic stops and checkpoints for the president.
It would be the latest move in the president's immigration crackdown. Los Angeles was the first American city seeing U.S. troops deployed in the streets in response to June protests against ICE raids. The White House dismissed Johnson's remarks in a statement saying, if these Democrats focused on fixing crime in their own cities instead of doing publicity stunts to criticize the president, their communities would be much safer. The showdown comes as the president's agenda faces legal setbacks. Late Friday, a federal judge blocked the Trump administration from expanding fast-track deportations nationwide. Also Friday, a major blow to the president's economic agenda. A federal appeals court ruled the president's use of emergency powers to impose worldwide tariffs illegal, ruling he overstepped his authority. In its decision, the court said it seems unlikely that Congress intended to grant the president unlimited authority to impose tariffs using the 1970s-era law. Now, the ruling does not impact tariffs on aluminum, steel, and cars, and it doesn't go into effect until mid-October, allowing time for an appeal, which Attorney General Pam Bondi says the Department of Justice will pursue at the Supreme Court. Willie James Inman, CBS News, the White House.
Now let's get a look at your first word forecast with the meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze, what should we expect?
Well, we are going to continue to sit underneath these quiet conditions through the rest of your holiday weekend, and that continues into Tuesday. The only difference between Sunday and Monday and Tuesday is that our winds finally turn out of the south as we head into Tuesday. So that's going to allow our temperatures to climb out of the mid-70s from Sunday and Monday into more of those upper 70s to low 80s before that big system that we've been telling you about moves on through, starting later Tuesday night into Wednesday night, possibly lasting or at least impacting us in some way through maybe Thursday night into Friday of next week. So that cold front is going to pass as we go Tuesday night through Wednesday, so expect a rainy day Wednesday. Winds are also going to be breezy out of the northwest, sometimes gusting upwards of 30 to maybe 40 miles per hour as we move down some cooler air for Thursday. With this system being cut off from the jet stream, so if you put a leaf in a river and you don't put it exactly in the current, it moves, but it's slowly but surely. That's essentially what a cutoff low is. It's not in the current, but it's still moving along with the river, just slowly. So by the time this moves on out of here, it may be Saturday morning. So between Wednesday night and Saturday, we're likely going to continue to deal with some breezy conditions, cloud cover, and maybe some hit or miss showers, but the heaviest rain does look to wrap up as we go Wednesday into Thursday. The cold air that this system is going to be pulling down, I want you to pay attention to this area right here. Watch as that blue comes on down as we go into Thursday of next week. Thursday is going to be the coolest day as we go over the next 7 days. Temperatures may not even get into the low 60s as temperatures soar into those 70s and 80s, stretching from parts of Alaska all the way south back into the Pacific Northwest. Again, we took their cooler air so that they can warm up. This was once blue, now it's yellow and orange, indicating more of that warmer air. But this pocket of cooler air, while it is going to cool our daytime highs down to maybe 15 to 20 degrees below average there Thursday through Saturday of next week, the cold isn't likely going to be sticking around for much longer. If we look ahead to the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook, it does look as though we trend more seasonable. So back to where we should be for this time of year in terms of daytime highs and overnight lows. If I had to guess, I think we're going to be easing back into more slightly warmer than average temperatures as we head into the middle and maybe the second half of September. Are we expecting what people call it as an Indian summer? Probably not. I think we're going to be likely just mild to slightly above average as we go into the second half of September, maybe into the start of October. That's a long, long ways away. In the meantime, just enjoy the nice conditions through Tuesday and then plan for a rainy, windy, and colder second half of next week.
I mean, is it really that far away? It seems like yesterday we were just getting into summer.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Seems like just yesterday I was born. Time flies.
I don't know about that one, but
yeah, I mean it'll sneak up on us, but you know, I can see what the outlook is for the next 3 months. Is that going to verify no or yes? I mean, I can't tell you. That's a very long forecast, but the Climate Prediction Center does have much of the United States, including the Midwest, just slightly above average. Not looking at really hot temperatures.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be more of a mild fall.
As for these next few days, still maybe a time to start breaking out the jackets at nighttime. Just a couple times. So.
Yeah, clear off the dust as it has been sitting in the closet for Thursday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. And coming up in sports, the Badgers were able to secure their Week 1 win at home against Miami of Ohio. We hear from head coach Luke Fickell on the win. The Brewers are in Toronto this Labor Day weekend for a big series against the Blue Jays. Both teams have two of the best records in all of baseball. We head to the top of the ninth. Jackson Churio at the plate with it tied 1 apiece, and he would really get things going. He would go yard with a single homer over center right, and then later in the frame, Christian Yelich at bat, and he hits a homer of his own. Brewers go back-to-back with homers, and that's all they would need. Brewers win it 4-1. Wisconsin football won their season opener, and while it wasn't always pretty, the team says a win is a win. Luke Fickell emphasized heading into the season that he wanted to see his team in midseason form in Week 1, and a 17-0 win on paper wasn't necessarily that, but their defense did pitch a shutout, and the Badgers did lose their starting quarterback in the first 20 minutes of the game.
When you have adversity like that in mid-season form, you got guys that have confidence in what they're doing, whether that's the guy coming in or the guys around him. Mid-season form is, you know, I don't think there was a whole lot of pre-snap penalties. We didn't have a substitution error, you know, all 11. I mean, I thought we were really sound. Now, we had a bad punt to start off with, but I thought we were really sound in the special teams game, and that's what I'm talking about when I say I have a good feel, when I say this, we're in a different place. You can have a struggle, you can have a tough game, you can, obviously have an adversity like losing, have a quarterback go down, but you can still play the game the way that you expect to be able to play it. And that's what I thought we look like tonight.
And many fans who attended the Badgers opening night win over Miami of Ohio on Thursday noticed the massive construction project next to Camp Randall. That's the site of the Badgers' new indoor athletic complex. Our Eric Franke earlier this week got an exclusive progress check on the construction with athletic director Chris McIntosh and his team.
To have a role in the construction of a project like this, generations of student athletes can benefit from is, from my perspective, it's just an honor.
You can see the future rising along Monroe Street.
It's super exciting because this facility is going to change the lives of a lot of young people, and it's going to be really transformational to our athletic department.
Jason King is the UW's Associate Athletic Director for Capital Projects. He's overseen a number of them through the years, but this
is the biggest capital project that Wisconsin Athletics has ever done.
Football is at the center of this nearly $300 million project, but in reality, from strength training to sports medicine to every calorie they consume, this place will impact every Badger student athlete.
Virtually all of our student athletes will be affected by this project in one way or another, impacted. There's a concentration of sports, football, soccer, both tracks, volleyball, that are just more concentrated in the Camp Randall footprint. They'll have more of a day-to-day. It's a generational project.
A project that also means hundreds of local jobs.
All of our fabricators and material suppliers and where the steel is fabricated, all of that comes together. There's probably easily 400 people that are touching this project right now, and only a fraction of them are actually here on site.
Jeremy Schechterly got his engineering degree at the UW back in 1999. Now a vice president at J.P. Cullen, his team is keeping everything on schedule as the 2025 football season kicks off.
So an event in the middle of construction is kind of chaos. So how we manage that, control that, plan that within our plan is what ultimately makes a whole lot of this success.
A unique project in a unique city and an historic venue comes with plenty of equally unique challenges. Just 5 of those towering trusses left to go.
So we can only haul them through this city at certain times of day.
Right.
So they actually show up in 4 pieces at 4:30 in the morning. And we have a crew here that unloads them, sets them on the rack that you see over there to stage them in a way that they can do some detailing before they get erected into halves and then hoisted into place.
And while the aging McLean Center serves its purpose for 1 more year, soon the UW will again take a backseat to no one when it comes to providing for its student athletes.
We look at it probably less as an arms race and more as how can we provide facilities that are going to allow our student athletes to have the best experience they can while they're at UW.
This project will provide us with so much flexibility and really allow us to remain strong in a way that supports our mission. And broad-based opportunity, all of our students will in one form or another be positively impacted by this, and it allows us to remain on good footing going forward.
And that's it for sports. The final check of your first run forecast is coming up when we return. So Blaze, it's Labor Day weekend. People are going to be heading outside.
I'm kidding.
People are going to be heading outside, breaking out the grills, you name it, as they throw these barbecues and family gatherings over the next few days.
Yeah.
What should they expect?
Nice conditions. I mean, Sunday is going to be basically Monday, your Labor Day as well, just slightly warmer. So some morning fog tomorrow and Monday morning, but by the time we head into the afternoon, 70s, mid-70s by the afternoon, both Sunday and Monday, near 80 by Tuesday. And then everything changes. 60s and rain and windy conditions Wednesday, upper 50s on Thursday, overnight lows in the 40s. And then we dry out for the first weekend of September, which of course is when Green Bay takes on, help me, the Lions?
Yes, the Lions. Okay, Blaze. You'll be doing sports tomorrow is what you just said?
No.
Oh, dang. All right, well, sounds good. Thank you. Seinfeld is coming up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.